So today I'm going to be talking about the first three Christmas games: Milwaukee Knicks, Golden State, Denver, and Boston Celtics versus Los Angeles Lakers. First, I want to talk about. I'm gonna divide them because I honestly don't. There's just too many games. I'll do Miami, Philadelphia, and Suns, Mavericks tomorrow. Honestly. But I do want to say that I am going to do those games. The only thing is, since it's so many games and they're going to run till so late, I need to get this out by today, so I'm only going to do some of them. So, first, with Milwaukee Knicks, it was basically just a threes game for both teams. The real problem with this game, or what happened in this game, was really just that the Knicks outplayed the Bucks. There wasn't really anything too big about it. It wasn't like they had anything or the Bucks didn't play well. Like the Bucks definitely were playing very well. Dame and Giannis both dropped 32 points. Giannis had his big game at the Garden. Chris Middleton dropped 24, and they were all pretty efficient. Meanwhile, doing what they were doing, right, or at least decently efficient. And also a guy like Brook Lopez and people, even someone like Campaign, they were positives in this game. But when we see a guy, like Bobby Portis or Malik Beasley or Pat Connaughton, those guys definitely were negatives. But you can expect there to be some negative players every game. On the Knicks side, Jalen Brunson just went absolutely crazy. He dropped 38 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Julius Randle played really well, and RJ Barrett did too. And in my opinion, really what defined this game was how many threes Milwaukee took. When it came to the Knicks just purely outplayed them. They both shot the same percentage from three, but the Knicks shot 92 field goals, right? 92 total shots, and 26 of them were threes. Milwaukee shot 95 shots, but 42 of them were threes, and they both shot 31%. So this game was just really riddled by poor three-point shooting from Milwaukee all around. Their players didn't play really well, and especially a guy like Dame, who shot 13 threes this game but only made 4 of them, were big reasons as to why Milwaukee lost. But like I said, it was just purely that the Knicks outplayed them. There wasn't anything special about this game where it was like, oh, the Bucks played terribly. No, they played great, but the Knicks were better. Especially a guy like Jalen Brunson shot it to his 38-point game. When it came to the Golden State and Denver game, this was an amazing game. It felt like it was going back and forth the entire game until the end when Denver obviously regained the lead and took it back. In this game, I do want to say that the Warriors played pretty poorly. I'm not saying that in general because they were able to string it together pretty nicely down the stretch. But even in plays like when Clay was shooting all those threes at the end of the fourth quarter, when Jonathan Kuminga got subbed out after 23 minutes of playtime, even though he started in the game and was playing amazingly, the fact that Andrew Wiggins was really the top scorer of this game and the one who they went to 4 straight times in the clutch to shoot clutch shots, and Chris Paul, which even though he was a plus 13 on the floor, he only got 28 minutes of playing time. With this Golden State lineup, the best players were the Brandon Pajewski guy. He's been amazing. He had 5 steals, and that, the time that he took it from Aaron Gordon at the end of the fourth quarter to hit that reverse lefty layup, he played amazingly then. And when it came to, Kevon Looney, they ran the same play twice with him where he just went into Jokic's chest and then got an easy layup. But it seemed like they ran that and then they never did it again, even though it worked twice and he shot 2 of 3, 66% from the field. So honestly, with the Warriors, I think it was more of a bad coaching job, not by necessarily Steve Kerr, but also by the players who were playing. They weren't giving enough opportunities. And the players who did play well, like, the Pashevsky and Wiggins, Chris Paul, and Dario Saric, which played pretty well, even though he did take some dumb shots at the end of the fourth. They all were pretty even. By the way, I do want to say that Steph Curry this game did play very badly, very poorly, and he kept up his streak of playing badly in Christmas games. On the other side, everyone played well, but the biggest issue was that Jokic got fouled way too much. He had 18 free throws, made all 18 of them, and in the end still managed to have a pretty good game and a near triple, a 26.14 rebound and 8 assists. Like he was 2 assists away from a triple double. Apart from this, I want to say the shout out to Jamal Murray. This was his game, and the shots that he had in the fourth quarter, like that behind the back on Stephen Curry, to really ice the game, and also what he was doing, handling the ball in the tough situations. I do want to say that I've never seen Michael Porter Jr. pass this much when he has shots, he did play great, having a double-double, and those blocks that he got, those 4 blocks were amazing. The one that he got on the wing on Wiggins, the one that he got on, I think it was Pashevsky, where he took it to the other end and then dunked, and then laid it up. Those were all amazing. Shout out to Michael Porter Jr. for the defensive effort, and obviously the rest of the role players played really well, like Aaron Gordon, which barely missed shots, and a guy like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. When they were broadcasting the game and they were talking, they said that he should be an all-defensive player, and I firmly believe that. Finally, the most exciting game of the day, Boston versus the Lakers. The Lakers lost. They got blown out by 11 points. And really the cause was LeBron. I'm not blaming him because it did look like he tore up his leg pretty badly in the middle. But I do believe that him going to the rim and the way that he was, lacing it up, it seemed like just Boston was ready for him. They had Kristaps camping there in the paint basically. Meanwhile, the Lakers took advantage of that by sending Anthony Davis in as a rebounder because he was just, grabbing everything. But in my opinion, the biggest thing was just that they were guarding LeBron really well. It's obvious that they game planned because they knew that if LeBron has a big game, then the Lakers go crazy. And in the end, guys like Taurean Prince and Jared Vanderbilt ended up having good games. Also like Rui and Austin Reeves. But I do think that LeBron not being able to stop scoring was a big thing. I feel like if he would have taken more to playmaking this game and maybe gotten 12 assists instead of shooting 14 shots, it's obvious that when you're not making them, you're not making them. And it's LeBron. You're gonna eventually figure it out. So in my opinion, it would have been better if he would have focused more on playmaking this game. That way he could have been a better help to his team. On the other end, the Celtics just played like the Celtics. I do want to say that Jason Tatum played like trash. What saved him was the free throws. He couldn't shoot this game. It's like he forgot how to. And I'm not saying that to, insult him. But, from the field, he shot pretty well. He was being good and being decisive at getting in the lane and passing this game. But his, effort on the threes and how many threes he took, he made 1 of 6 threes that he took, which you can't do that if you're a superstar. Drew Holiday played amazingly, just extremely efficient. It felt like he was hitting everything when he got the ball. And even from 2-point range, he barely missed, if we're being 1,000% honest. Then I got Kristaps was really the star of this game. He just abused the fact, that the Lakers just couldn't guard him. He was in the first quarter. I remember when he had that nasty, when he went into the lane heavy, and I was like, the Lakers really are getting, abused by him inside the restricted area. And that shows by the fact that he still had a great efficiency for the game, even if he shot 2 of 8 from three-pointer. Derek White, consistently amazing. He had 11 assists, and he really was seeing the passes. I like the way that they utilized him this game. He was more of a playmaker, and I think that made Boston really good, as Boston ended with 31 assists to the Lakers 24. And this is where I think that, Boston got their edge. Boston had 8 turnovers and 31 assists. The Lakers had 12 turnovers and 24 assists. So that means that for every 2 assists that the Lakers had, they had a turnover. But for every almost 4 assists that the Celtics had, they had one turnover. And in my opinion, that was the stat of the game. Like the Lakers shot really well and they played great, but they couldn't get the ball moving around the court. They couldn't get enough shots up in terms of free throws and make sure to being able to play make enough so that they could compete against the Celtics. Apart from this, the defensive stats also sway very heavily towards Boston, and in the end, Boston finished with less fouls, more steals, more blocks, more rebounds, more assists, and less turnovers. Meanwhile, having better percentages in everything that's not the three-pointer and the free throw. So, in my opinion, the biggest thing this game was that Boston just outplayed the Lakers, and the fact that LeBron just couldn't get anything going offensively. Those 25 points were obviously required. But yeah,